Hi, my name is Tess, and for our last clinical day, I went to the Cetronia Ambulance Corps, and this was my first time ever doing a ride along with the ambulance. So, I worked with a EMT and a paramedic. They always have an EMT and paramedic on one vehicle, and we basically had radio calls, and then we went to whoever needed help, which I think my station was in Whitehall. So whenever someone called and needed help around Whitehall, we would drive there and help them with what they needed. And for me personally, this was more of an observation day rather than a participative day, because there wasn't really it wasn't really busy, and also it wasn't like really critical situations. It was most of them were like falls or like transporting patients. There was a motor vehicle crash, but it was really minor, like injuries. Like the one person had like a lip cut, and like that was it. And she had children in the car, and they were completely fine. So there wasn't really much per se for me to do, because it was very minor situations that they kind of needed to do over me. So the objectives that I met today was course objective number 4, collaborate with other members of the healthcare team in providing care to families and communities. So for one of the patients, the first place we had to go to, the girl had a seizure, and she was unresponsive. So we drove there as fast as we could, and the EMT just did a sternal rub, and then she woke up and she was completely fine. She said she forgot to take her meds the day before. So the paramedic had to call the doctor and see if that was okay for her not to come to the hospital, because she was refusing care, and said that she had a primary care visit, like I think the next week anyways, about her seizures. So they were kind of a little like against doing that, because obviously there was a reason for why she said, or she had a seizure, but she stated she didn't take her meds the day before. So that's why they called the doctor, and they collaborated with the doctor on deciding that it was okay for her to not go to the hospital that day. I also did course objective number 5, use principles of health education and teaching and counseling of families and communities on aspects of health promotion and care. So basically, the one with the motor vehicle crash, she had a whole bunch of questions on what she should do, because she had her lip was like really swollen, and she was bleeding her gums and her nose. So the EMT provided education on going to her dentist, and gave her like education on like doing like a saltwater like gargle and to keep it like sterilized, and gave her a lot of education in that aspect, because she seemed a little like she didn't know what to do, and she was obviously in a lot of shock that she experienced that, because she said that was her first vehicle crash ever. Which takes me to the other objective that I completed, which was course objective number 1, apply concepts of family and culture to the care of families and communities. So the EMT used a lot of like verbal and nonverbal communication, used a lot of therapeutic communication in providing like care, and like basically communication with the girl who had the most damage with like her lip, and then also like helped with her family and her children and made sure that they were feeling okay. I know the paramedic went with the babies and like played baby shark for them while they were checking up on the mom to make them feel more comfortable. So they used a lot of like relationships and like a lot of therapy in helping them cope through that motor vehicle crash. So for recommendation, I feel like the only thing I could recommend is like maybe making us more aware that a good 70% of the day is them just sitting around waiting for a call, which I was not expecting. I felt really bored on some parts of the day, which is not their fault at all. It's like what their job is. They have to wait and always be on call for the next need for them. But I just wasn't expecting, I don't really know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting to be sitting around for like 70% of the day and like waiting and waiting and waiting. I think I would have brought something with me to like do while I was waiting. But other than that, I felt like it was very like, enjoyable, very like, they were very nice to me, like very sweet. And there was not really much else I would recommend other than that. But thank you for listening.